Did you know that the first rounds fired in direct contact with the enemy in World War II was American air defense artillery? This is where the air defense artillery gets our motto, first to fire. It's well known that the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor December 7, 1941, but did you know 8 hours later across the international date line on the peninsula known as Bataan, the United States air defense artillery were the first to fire against the Empire of Japan? The 200th Anti-Aircraft Artillery out of New Mexico were the first to fire in World War II. And at the loss of Bataan, they were the last guns to stop firing. I love my branch and I love history, so this is going to hurt some field artillerymen. Did you know that the air defense artillery came from field artillery? Often viewed as some of the best shooters in field artillery because the coastal defense artillery had to fire in 3 dimensions because boats just don't go to and from, they also go up and down on the ocean. This later in 1933 turned into the anti-aircraft artillery, and in 1960, it's either 8 or 5, I can't remember off the top of my head, they changed to the air defense artillery. But this wasn't a one-off. Air defenders way back in the day were putting in work. Like at the Ludendorff Bridge at Remagen. I think I said both of those words right. You see, the Germans had packed this bridge with 600 kilos of explosives, and their orders were as soon as all Germans were across in their retreat, they were to blow up the bridge. Unfortunately for them, the Americans got to them first and made it very hard for them to get across that bridge. 26 Pershing tanks, a whole lot of infantry, and a battalion of air defenders. These weren't your run-of-the-mill air defenders. These were highly experienced individuals who had just gone through the Battle of the Bulge. So Germans are trying to retreat, they get attacked, they get as many people as they can across, they go to blow the bridge. 300 kilos go off. The bridge still stands. Americans, realizing that we're going across this bridge, decided, fuck it, we're gonna take it. So the tanks start pushing across the bridge, and they're laying waste to everything on the far side. In the water, there's a barge with some German snipers on it. They start taking out people who are taking cover by the tanks. The commander on the ground says, hey, tank, kill that barge, which they swiftly do. They get across and they know the Germans need that bridge gone so that they can slow down the American advance. So their orders are, hold this bridge no matter what. Introduce the Luftwaffe. They thought it was going to be an easy run, so they sent 4 Stukas at that bridge. All 4 were eliminated. Several hours later, 6 more. All 6 were eliminated. Now the Germans are a little pissed off, so they're going to send some Messerschmitts at the Americans. Unfortunately, those jets are too fast, and the Quad 50s were having trouble acquiring these targets. Luckily for them, these pilots were very bad at their job. Around 5:30 p.m., the last attack happened, and then right after that, the Germans that were guarding that bridge, that their job was to blow it up, came marching out of the tunnel adjacent to the bridge and immediately surrendered. Later on that night, German engineers were trying to sneak their way in and plant some explosives and blow the bridge with no one the wiser. Unfortunately, they ran into the 9th Infantry Division and were immediately eliminated. 7 Army divisions went across that bridge, and by the time the Luftwaffe stopped trying to annihilate it, they had lost 106 planes. After all the repeated attacks, by March 12th, they decided the bridge wasn't safe anymore, so they blew it up themselves because Americans just, you don't blow up shit, I blow up shit. Don't worry, by this time, the Army Corps of Engineers had already built several bridges across the Rhine. Cue the infantryman, so you're telling me you're a pogue. Hell yeah, a pogue who graduated from Quad 50s to Mach classified missiles, baby. Fucking rock on.